Hello and welcome to J&D's Still Unnamed podcast.
Yeah, we are still currently unnamed, and we possibly will remain so for the entirety of this podcast. Today we're going to do our spring-summer preview.
Yep.
Mainly because we are unprepared. Is that why?
That's exactly why, yes.
Maybe this should be called Currently Unprepared Podcast.
We should probably call it that, yeah.
Yeah.
Unprepared podcast.
Yeah, there you go. So we're looking at kind of the spring-summer big blockbusters, I guess, that are coming out this year.
Yeah, but before we do that, we have to do the customary what the hell we're drinking.
Right. So what we're drinking today, we're still drinking... we're drinking beer again today, and I'm drinking the Sawdust City Brewing Company's Gateway Kolsch, which is actually great with these Doritos.
And what kind of Doritos are we eating?
It's Dorito Roulette.
Yes.
Big fan of the idea.
So if you hear crunching, hopefully in the background, just let's try not to crunch into the microphones.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah,
Crunch
okay.
into the microphones.
Let's see, what am I drinking? I'm drinking the Hogsback Brewing Company's Vintage Lager. It's okay. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lager, so it's light tasting, but it's...
What makes it vintage?
The word vintage. It's okay. It basically tastes like what you expect beer to taste like.
You can tell we are beer connoisseurs. This beer tastes a lot like beer.
I am a beer connoisseur. I mean, I got it
Fair
because
enough.
it says 5.2% alcohol. That's how you know I'm a beer connoisseur, is you look at the alcohol content of the beer.
Well, I guess we should move on to this and on to some of the films we're going to preview, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Mad Max is coming out. There's a new Mad Max.
Mad Max Fury Road, yes.
Yeah, I have, again, no interest.
You have no
No interest.
You've seen the trailer?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. I like some of the design stuff they're doing. It's Mad Max, and honestly, I've never been a Mad Max fan. I remember, what was it, Welcome to the Terror Dome or something like that? Or what was it, Thunderdome?
Oh, Thunderdome, yeah.
Yeah, so that movie did not do any, like, none of them have done anything for me, so...
That's fair enough.
yeah. So I don't care that they're
I
doing this
enjoy
again.
the B-moviness of it, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. The whole thing's apparently mostly dialogueless. There's very little dialogue in it, and the whole thing is one giant car chase for 2 hours.
See, that doesn't interest me. Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy.
I like Tom Hardy. I like Charlize Theron.
There you go. I didn't know she was in it.
Yeah, she's the girl in it with the shaved hair.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's Charlize Theron. Honestly, like I'm not expecting anything subtle. I'm expecting it to be over the top B-movie insanity, except they were given a budget to do it.
Exactly. They're given a huge budget to do B-movie insanity, and that's why I don't care. And also, they kind of made this already when they made Waterworld. Waterworld was basically Mad Max on
water.
Yeah, on water.
Yeah, but I'm still looking forward to it. It looks
Fair enough.
insane and stupid. I saw you spill that beer, by the way.
Did it spill?
Yeah, you totally did, just a little bit. Don't spill beer. It's bad.
I got it. I dribbled beer out of my mouth.
Okay, I think that's pretty much. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not expecting anything to be like amazing, but they did spend like years storyboarding it. Did you hear about how they wrote the story?
No.
So apparently, what they did is George Miller. Yeah, he basically brought in like 5 people to storyboard it without a screenplay at all. They just came up with a bunch of storyboards
And wrote a screenplay around the storyboards?
and wrote a screenplay around the storyboards.
Okay.
So it should visually be amazing.
I may not see it.
I'll see it for us.
If we're going to talk about it, I'll see it, but I don't. Otherwise, I won't.
I'm going to make you see it then.
Fair enough. Let's move on then. Pixels. Pixels is coming out. Let's talk about. That was shot here in Toronto.
That was shot here in Toronto. I like the short film it was based on. The
Okay.
trailer came out and it did amazing. Apparently, lots and lots of views. I'm not really interested in watching it.
I'm not necessarily the biggest Adam Sandler fan. I love some of his older movies. You know, I was
Me too. Yeah,
younger and dumber and
funny.
yeah, and they were funny. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, they were funny.
Yep.
I don't really know if this is going to be funny. I don't really know if I need to see some guys kind of Ghostbuster up and fight King Kong. But, I mean, they made it. and it's not something I ever thought of.
Okay, I like old video games. I really do.
Right. But you like them lo-fi 2D.
Yeah, I like them lo-fi 2D, and making them like 3D like this is just. I'm not that interested in seeing it, which is weird because I really liked the short film it was based on. I thought the short film was really cute and hilarious, but I don't think it's strong enough for an actual story. Like when I saw the trailer for this, I'm like, you know what? Not interested in watching this at all. I didn't find any of the trailer funny. Some of the effects were kind of.
But you know what?
Nice.
Adam Sandler, when he's made those movies where him and Kevin James and David Spade go to a cottage or whatever, they make money and people go see these movies. So I'm guessing that it's the same audience they're aiming at.
Yeah,
it's a big family friendly movie, right?
Yeah, I didn't see anything that really screamed comedy, and nothing that really screamed like awesome science fiction.
Yeah, I think the jaded people that we are not the target audience.
Yeah, I'll probably end up seeing it anyway.
Right.
So that was Pixels. Should probably touch on that one.
Jurassic World. I am looking forward to seeing Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, to me, that's kind of like that's a franchise they should never not make movies about dinosaurs running around. I don't care what they're doing. Sometimes they're terrible, sometimes they're good. Why are you not making a Jurassic movie every year? There should have been 40 Jurassic Park sequels at this point.
Okay.
And I will say that I haven't liked either of the two that were released, except for some moments. Actually, there's some things I like about Jurassic Park 2.
Lost World, yeah.
Yeah.
Lost World, Jurassic Park. What about Jurassic Park 3?
I can't even think of anything that happened. I remember there were dinosaurs.
There was the Velociraptor in Alan Grant's dream going, Alan! Alan! It was a talking Velociraptor. That's the only thing I really remember is like dreaming on a plane.
I remember they were on a boat. I remember they tried to introduce this other dinosaur, which the name of it escapes me. Which,
the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus, which then kills a T-Rex.
Just to show how badass it is.
Yeah, which is fine. There's some story points in this that people have opinions on, specifically that they have now created a new type of dinosaur.
The Cthulhusaurus Rex, yes.
Sure. So that thing, I don't know what I don't have an opinion on that thing yet. I think that'll be probably the weakest part of the movie. I like the idea that this is now an open park and it looks a lot like Disney World or SeaWorld or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So I've been following Jurassic World for a while. And the first thing that you learn is that it is an open park. And I'm like, yes. Now we're going to get
that I liked.
Yeah, basically cannon fodder.
Right.
Just a lot of people getting killed, because I felt like the problem with the other part 2 and part 3 where there's just not enough people being mauled to death by dinosaurs.
I mean, there's a lot of people who die in part 2, actually.
I know, but still, I want more people to if you're going to make another movie, kill more people. And having an open park with 10,000 people, oh my god, there should be bloodbaths.
You know what? I want to take it back. I think I did like Jurassic Park: The Lost World, because there's some things from the books that made it into that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jurassic Park, the original book, is actually very entertaining.
Yep.
The sequel, less so, but there's some interesting ideas in it. But the Tyrannosaurus in San Francisco running around, it's not as big as a Godzilla or something like that, so it's kind of almost believable. There's a guy trying to run into a blockbuster at one point, and then he gets snatched up by them, whatever, and then Tyrannosaurus rams himself into a bus. These are fun action moments,
yeah.
Right? So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to this movie.
I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I originally didn't like the hybrid dinosaur idea.
Yeah, I'm still not.
It kind of grew on me. The whole idea is they've already been crossbreeding. From the first movie, they used frogs to complete the DNA sequences.
Sure.
So it's not really out there. It's something that they've been talking about from the get-go. The thing that I don't like is the raptor training stuff with Chris Pratt.
Really?
It's one of those things where when he's on that motorcycle and he's part of this pack of velociraptors. The thing about the velociraptors, they're the scariest part of Jurassic Park for me. Of all the dinosaurs, they're the smartest.
Absolutely.
They're evil, And like, you if you come across a velociraptor, you're fucked. Is basically every single movie. Like, Tyrannosaurus Rex was
But not in the third one.
not in the third one. That's because it started talking. That's why I really don't like the third one.
Right.
And now they're good guy-ish.
Yeah. Essentially, they're trained lions, right?
Yeah. And again, when I first heard about it, that was the idea that I hated the most.
Because you want to be scared by the velociraptor.
Because I want to be scared by the velociraptors because they are intelligent. And
Well, essentially, this new dinosaur they've created is going to be...
as it's from what I've heard, it is a cross between a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a velociraptor, a snake, and a cuttlefish.
That was far worse than anything I thought I would ever hear about that dinosaur.
Well, here's the thing about cuttlefish is they can hide in the surroundings. They can actually
right.
They're like chameleons, basically.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. It's like you can have like this 3-story tall dinosaur who can just hide in the shrubs, and you won't notice until he comes out of the shrubs and eats you. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I like my velociraptors as the evil, smart dinosaurs who will tear you apart. Remember, they were actually the main antagonists, really,
in the first movie.
Of the first movie.
Absolutely.
Because when the electricity gets turned off, everyone's like, "What about the velociraptors?" And they're like, "No, their pen is still up." It's like, "Oh, thank God." Oh, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Right.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of bad. But velociraptors, nah, man, nah, you don't want to fuck with them. They're the
Right.
guys who. This is why like Alan Grant is on the island in the first place because the velociraptor eats somebody.
Right. Well, I mean, that final sequence when the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes in there and starts killing the velociraptors.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
But that was also over 20 years ago.
And it's still probably the best of all the Jurassic Parks by far.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
Okay. Moving on.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland. Very little is really been shown about Tomorrowland.
You've seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailers. There's several of them now.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I'm like, this is dumb. And then I saw the trailers. I'm like,
It's not as dumb.
it's not as dumb. It could be kind of nice.
Yeah. George Clooney's in it for some reason.
Yeah, inexplicably. It's a Brad Bird. I think Brad Bird is directing it.
Yeah. Brad Bird's directing it.
So that gives me a little bit of hope. And I don't know. There's this whole dichotomy in the film that's kind of cool. There's like this really magical, wonderful future place, and there's like shitty reality
Yeah.
that run simultaneously.
Right.
I don't know if you've actually read up on what they've been talking about this movie.
Not really.
So it's kind of apparently like Harry Potter in some ways. Where
It's
there's,
unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. There's this sort of like, secret society-ish of scientists, basically.
Okay.
As opposed to, you're a wizard, Harry. It's like, no, you're a scientist, blonde girl. I have no idea what her character's name is.
Right. I don't know either. And yeah.
don't
we don't know that much about Tomorrowland. We kind of have an idea of what it seems like. Yeah,
I think the only thing that I am not looking forward to is I think it's a Damon Lindelof film. I think he wrote it.
And you're not a fan of Lindelof.
I still need to punch him in the face for Lost.
Right. He's pretty angry at Lindelof. I am not at all angry at Lindelof.
Well, he also ruined Prometheus, I feel.
I don't know if he ruined them. I think he just worked on it. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
The thing is that Lindelof likes asking these existential questions, which is fine. But it's like, and if you're looking for an answer, no, we're just going to skip over that part.
I don't know. There's a lot of properties that he works on that I like, so I can't say that I dislike him because I want to. At the very least, I want to like these properties. So
I feel like,
and I do like Lost as much as.
I feel like he's a George Lucas, where he's good at like the broad stroke ideas,
Yeah.
but the details kind of suck.
I don't know if I feel that way about him necessarily, but because I liked a lot of Lost, as much as I might have disliked the ending at the time, and now that I've made my peace with that, I can watch that too and probably enjoy that if I were to watch that again. But
I can't get past the third season. Every single
Wow.
time I try to rewatch, I just get, and I even have. If anyone's listening to this, I'm Not saying that you should promote
Don't do it.
piracy or anything. But there is someone who recut the entire series chronologically. You can watch the whole thing chronologically.
Yeah, that sounds like something I don't want to do.
I tried doing it. And when they got to like season 3 material, I stopped watching.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I, honestly, like the stuff I like the most, and this might be true for everyone, is the stuff on the island. And if I were to rewatch this series now, I would probably fast forward through a lot of the stuff where they're just not on the island.
Well, no, this is why you should watch it in chronologically. You just start at like episode like 60 or whatever it is when they actually get to the island. It takes a while to get there, but then it's just everything just happens on the island. Someone just recut it, so it's all island stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of Damon Lindelof.
Okay.
Moving on.
Ant-Man. Let's get back into the Marvel universe.
Ant-Man. Okay. Ant-Man is I love Edgar Wright, and when he left, it kind of broke my heart. And I don't think that I'm looking as forward to Ant-Man as because he was working on it for a decade.
Okay.
And
I didn't realize he was working on it quite that long.
He's been working on it before Marvel Studios was around.
Are you a fan of the Ant-Man character?
No.
Okay.
But
Just a fan of Edgar Wright.
I'm a fan of Edgar Wright, and then he released that test footage. Did you ever see the test footage?
Yeah, I did. With
Yeah.
He was running along
the
arm.
I guess it just never really clued in that Ant-Man retains his mass when he like shrinks. So he's still he's still as heavy as a regular person.
I mean, I don't know if that's true in the comic books. I don't think that's the case actually. But no, that's fine that that's what they're doing.
But in the comic, like he can actually change his mass.
In the comic book.
Not in the comic, in
this movie.
And I think in the comic. I don't know, it's been a very long time since I've read. Usually if I see Ant-Man in a comic, I skip over his parts anyway. But you know that's kind of cool that he retains his mass, which allows him to do a lot of really neat stuff, like run on someone's gun, and then grab him by the shirt, turn full size, and like flip him over, or like just punch him in the face while he's like tiny.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the physics of it, but I think it'll be a fun movie.
I think it's going to be a fun movie. I'm not sure if it'll be as fun as if Edgar Wright was in it. It'll be more in.
Who is directing now?
Peyton Reed, who is not really, he hasn't done anything that big, I think.
I don't know.
I'd have to look it up. I remember seeing his filmography. I'm like, he's going to be more of a Marvel yes man than Edgar Wright would have been.
Right.
And I feel like that makes Ant-Man's not going to be as good because of it, but it will fit in the Marvel universe better. So if you're looking at it as like a Marvel Universe film, it'll be better not to have Edgar Wright.
Is this phase 2 still? Or is this the beginning of phase 3?
This is the end of phase 2.
This is the last phase 2 movie.
This is the last phase 2 movie. Surprisingly, it's not going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. It's going to be Ant-Man.
I mean, that's kind of good in that, like, this is a looking forward movie. It happens after Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. And I like Paul Rudd a lot. So
do you know what I'm actually really looking forward to?
What's that?
Is Paul Rudd actually helped write the screenplay?
Oh,
rewrite it with Adam McKay, who did Anchorman 2.
Right.
So I feel like this is going to be more Guardians of the Galaxy than any of the other Marvel films. I mean, I think of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Let's hope so, because one thing I liked about Guardians of the Galaxy is that they're not trying to shove this down your throat as they're very, very serious, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of humor in Guardians of the Galaxy. Even in the Avengers there are, but it's a bit different, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they're going to do the same thing with this. Like, and I mean, from the preview that I've seen of this,
yeah, there's only the one for this one.
There's only the one.
Yeah.
So there's that one moment where he kind of says, "Huh," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's good. I'm glad that this isn't that the character isn't. What's the first Ant-Man's name?
Hank Pym.
Yes, I'm glad it's not Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of
Michael Douglas is Hank Pym.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Douglas is Hank Pym, and that's a great person to play that because Hank Pym is, as far as I know, supposed to be kind of an asshole. And Michael Douglas seems like he could be an asshole. So.
Yeah. And
Scott Lang, I don't know that much about that character.
Well, they're being kind of true to the whole thing where he is a thief. He does steal the Ant-Man costume. That's sort of where his thing comes from.
Again, I didn't know any. I don't know what's true or not. I mean, I don't know what would have been canon for Ant-Man because I've never really.
It doesn't matter. You know what?
Right.
I feel as Marvel Studios goes on, they should be less canon heavy, and just,
Totally.
and like the more movies they make, the more of their own universe they inhabit, to the point where they'll start just making their own stories that aren't based on anything from the comics.
Right.
And they're building their own universe. So slowly, I feel like after, I have no idea how they're going to top the Infinity War.
Well, we'll see what that even is at that point, right? Like that's 5 years away.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4. It's like 2019 or something.
2018, then 2019, two-parter. Yeah. So yeah, I have no idea how that's going to work.
At that point, it's possible no one's even going to want to watch comic book movies.
Well, that's
they may
because-
have just dried up the well.
That's because there's so many coming. I think like next year there's 8 or 9 movies.
Oh yeah. We're on the verge of
every
oversaturation.
weekend.
Yeah. We're 2 years away from oversaturation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully every other comic book franchise sort of dies. Just let Marvel Studios do their thing.
I don't know.
So far, like honestly, this is what their 10th or 11th movie, and every movie, even the ones that I like the least, are still pretty entertaining. I find
Thor.
the original Thor.
Yeah.
The original Thor I thought was okay. It's not as bad as the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
So, like, you got to take it in context. When Thor came out, that was the third movie, fourth movie. They did 2 Iron Mans, and Iron Man 2 was
Not good.
Not good.
I mean, I don't think Iron Man 3 is good either.
Yeah, it's still a toss about which one I like the least.
Iron Man 2 for me.
It may be Iron Man 3 for me.
I'll never watch either of those films again.
Yeah. I might if I'm doing like a marathon and just bored.
No, and it's not going to happen.
The thing with Iron Man 3 that I didn't like is you have Robert Downey Jr., who is... the man is hilarious. Yeah. Just his ego is hilarious. Like he plays a character with this huge ego, and you don't want to be in a room with him, but you want to watch him like take everyone else down a peg. That's the character. And then you give him PTSD, and like, you know, you remove all of the best qualities of the character, and he's not as fun to watch in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that's true. He's not as fun to watch. But, I mean, I think they said everything I needed to say with Iron Man and Iron Man 1, and they probably never needed to go back to that well, except for the fact that they're like, we can make money with Robert Downey Jr. being on screen the entire time.
Yep.
And they were right.
Iron Man 3 did make $1 billion.
There you go. But I guess we've gone off topic here because we're still in the
right.
summer preview. I know Terminator Genesis is coming out at some point, right?
Oh, yeah. Terminator Genesis. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one.
Nope. Don't have anything good to say about that idea.
I like the idea, but watching the trailers, the execution looks like
the last time they rebooted Terminator.
I don't see anything interesting or anything.
What was the last movie called? Terminator what?
Salvation with Mick G directing.
Is it Mick G or MCG?
I thought it was Mick G. It's a little C.
I thought it was MCG.
Little C.
Sure.
It doesn't matter.
Either way, it was horrific.
He has no career anyway. He's gone, as far as I understand.
We'll see.
I have. It looks boring.
Yep, looks boring to me.
It has Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the thing about it is that like the first 2 Terminators, they were like hard R-rated movies with people getting stabbed and just like, you know, him taking out his eyeball. And admittedly, that scene when you watch it now is
the first movie's a B movie, right?
It is a B movie. Yeah, but they were still like really graphic and very.
And the
R-rated.
first 2 movies are both James Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
when
then,
James Cameron still had something to prove because they weren't giving him everything he wanted.
Exactly. So Terminator 3 was a parody, if you ask me. Rise of the Machines.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 4, I don't even think I finished watching it. I literally just turned it off. I was bored.
Terminator 4 is Salvation.
Salvation, yeah.
I definitely finished watching it. I don't remember it all that well. And I don't think it was very good. And we saw what happened with that, right? So,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this reboot will actually reboot the franchise or if this is going to be a one-off and they will make no more. We'll see.
they're trying to make a trilogy of it, and
Of course they are, but I mean, we'll see if anyone goes to the movie theaters, right?
well, you know why they want to make a trilogy of it, right?
Why is that?
Because the rights revert back to Cameron in 2019, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and he basically sold it off for $1 for like 30 years, and the rights will revert back to him.
Wow. Okay.
By the time this decade is out, he's going to have Terminator back. He's going to own it. And so I have no idea who.
I don't know. At that point, he should be well mired into making sequels for Avatar, which no one gives a shit about. But
yeah, like 3 fucking sequels for Avatars, 4 movies altogether.
yeah, but he should be right in the middle of that. And then, when we're all in our late 60s, we'll see some more Terminator movies, which again, probably will be irrelevant at that point.
I have so much I can tell you. I can just talk about
Well, let's not do that.
Avatar, but yeah, that'll be next year. Let's see, and I think those are the big tent poles. Unless you want to talk about Agent 47.
What's Agent 47? Is that the...
It's the Hitman Agent 47. They reboot. It's based on a video game. It's a guy with a barcode on the back of his head.
Right.
Zachary Quinto's in it.
Yeah, big action movie coming out this summer. Agent 47. I don't know that much about it. Danny might know more than me.
I've seen a trailer for it. Who else is in it? I think the guy who played McCoy in the new Star Trek is in it. Hold on. Nope. Maybe not. I have no idea. I don't care. That's the only other bigger movie. And
The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I think, is coming out this summer.
Ooh, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Is that this summer?
I think so.
I have no idea when that's coming out.
We don't know when it's coming out.
Nope.
There's no Transformer movies coming out this year?
No, not this year.
That's too bad. I love those.
No, don't lie.
They're
Don't lie.
I love them.
No.
They're really good. There's a okay. All right,
I'm gonna attack him with the microphone.
please don't hit me.
So yeah, no, those are the movies that are coming out. I think it's gonna be a pretty good summer. There's a lot of room for disappointment, I believe.
Yeah.
That's basically where I am. There's a bunch of movies I'm pretty hyped for them, and I'm probably going to be disappointed.
I actually can't see any of these movies surprising me. I don't think any of them will be like, oh, this was an amazing movie. I'm really part of that has to do with the fact that so much of this is not original content. So much of this is rehashing sequels, continuing the Marvel Phase 2 legacy and stuff like that. And that being the case, I can't picture any of this really blowing me away.
Jurassic World is the one that I'm really worried about. I think that has the most potential to actually blow me away, but that's all.
We know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
The only good thing is we get to see dinosaurs in movie theaters again.
Terminator Genesis is the one that I'm going to watch it and I'm going to be disappointed. I already know it. Nothing in the trailers has impressed me.
Okay.
And with that, so those are the movies that are coming out. That's what we think about them. I'm D.
I'm Jay.
And this is still untitled, really.
Yeah, we don't have a
a name for this yet. No.